one product which can actually help you. I mean, it can support giving some energy efficiency to the building, which we are actually not aware. I mean, silicon is generally used in the facade for majorly glazing and cladding application. But I mean, if you look at the Western culture countries right now, silicon sealants actually act as an, it can save your energy. I mean, it can make the building energy efficient, and I mean it can also help you in terms of try to avoid the air passing through the windows, and there are a lot of gaps which are quite invisible with the naked, a lot of times very minute and invisible with the naked eyes. So that is something that we miss out. So it can actually help them make the building energy efficient. Secondly, we normally talk about a lot of time about the green building. I mean, there are a lot of products, and it's very unfortunate that there are different types of chemistries eh, globally for making silicon sealants. But in terms of the VOC and the right green building product, I see that here in
Sorry,
India.
I want to stop here. When you mentioned green, I'm just asking, what is green?
Yeah, it's
What do you mean
about
by
environment friendly products basically. I mean,
so green means environment friendly product.
exactly. So
Okay.
there are a lot of products. It's more to do with the environment friendly, and it's more of energy efficient products.
What we term the environment friendly? I don't understand. When we say environment friendly, it has to be part of the environment.
Basically,
What
when
we
you
live
look
in.
when you look at the chemistry of the product, when the silicon is actually manufactured, I mean, there are different chemistry. Certain silicon sealants could be hazardous. It can not be specific to the friendly to the environment. It has a higher VOC content. So that is one reason that I mean, those products are not green building qualified. In fact, so that is one reason that we have a proper products. Certain products in the Western countries are banned. If you look at the certain chemistries, for example, there are two chemistry, alkoxy and oxide. When we talk about the weather sealing application, there are two chemistries which are actually available right now. One talks about the alkoxy chemistry, and second talks about the oxime chemistry. Both are neutral sealants. Okay, there is an oxime chemistry which would emit hazardous chemicals, which is called methyl ethyl ketoxane gas, which can be actually hazardous to the health of the person who is doing the application, or possibly the person who is
But
actually.
is it being used?
Yes, definitely in India right now, most of the products and people are not even aware that we are not using the right kind of silicon sealant even for those applications.
Okay, as a company, what is the initiative you all have taken?
See, basically, I mean, all the hazardous, the oxime sealants are globally banned right now. And when I look at India, I mean, we are India, Malaysia, Bangladesh, and there are certain other countries. We are still promoting those oxime sealants in the market.
So are we become a dumping ground?
We are actually becoming like a dumping ground, in fact, and these sealant can actually cause lung cancer. No one can actually think of it. It's like a slow poison, in fact.
Yes. So,
And
you know, end of the day, what we live in is a hazardous world, and India is a dumping ground. Yes.
no, but there are alternate and good products.
What?
There,
Yes.
there,
And your vendor is supporting you wholeheartedly,
Selvam.
giving you hazardous material.
No, Selvam, but there are
Sorry.
there are products available which we are not actually considering for usage. There are products which are alkoxy products, which are the right product to be used for the facade and glazing, which are not hazardous at all. And these are globally specified products as per the ASTM and the IOTA standards. So ideally, we should be using those right products for the market.
Okay.
In fact.
Good. Cool. I have a placard. So now, hazardous material, not understanding about any systems or any codes of practice, best practices. Okay. We listed some common problems. Now, I have to rush through this question before I conclude. The next question I would like to ask is, morning we spoke about thermal efficiency of the systems. And India, yes, Mr. C. Aaron was showing a beautiful slide where we have a good topography of climate. And we are still struggling with the basic system. I believe thermal systems are used in countries like Middle East where the temperature is very high, or vice versa in Europe where the climate condition is adverse with cold. But for India, is it really essential at this juncture? First, we do not have basics. Second, thermal systems, you know, when you talk about thermal brake system and all, is it really required at this juncture for us? Yes, Pankaj.
You see, it again depends on city to city in our country. Now, if you look at Bangalore, I don't think this is a city that really requires a thermally efficient system, right? Because the variation in temperature between summer and winter is, 9 months of the year, you almost have similar temperature. But if you look at any other city, whether it's, again, you come to Chennai or come to Delhi, now these are two cities that would really require that, because your outside temperature in Delhi is, winters and summers are extreme. And then in Chennai, you have a constant temperature which is there throughout the year, and you need to keep that internally at 22 degrees. So when you're sitting outside at 38 to 40, and the variation is so large, it would be very efficient here.
So you're saying it is required, but only on selected places around the country. Good, thanks.
Plus, I would say that we could use spacers between the glass as PVC spacers instead of aluminum. That can reduce the heat.
Okay, but it's only to the selected zones. Yes, Sahar, you were saying something.
Yeah, I think what both my co-panelists said, it has to be contextual. So, whether it is Bangalore or whether it is Delhi, the design has to change, and thermal efficiency is required whether it is Europe or US or India. It is the same. Whether we use a thermal brake is a different question, because typically it's used in cold climates. But as per thermal efficiency is concerned, that is one of the prime requirements of a facade. When we look at facade, we look at the human comfort value, which is daylight, his own thermal comfort, and that is the energy efficiency which is coming out of the thermal efficiency.
Okay, so we can be selective, and I believe the panel suggestion is valid. Depends on region wise, choosing the better system is a good practice. Last question, which is to the glass manufacturer. Specifically, because this is something again touch base, go back to the fire. I have been reading article. Later I will share some videos. Today I didn't want to do the presentation, but today really I am in a very good mood to take some decision from here. I will show the videos and explain what I am trying to ask him now. Between two buildings, a building without glass, a building with glass, facade, which is better for fire evacuation, which is safer for fire evacuation?
Yeah. Number one, I think you would have read all those articles which have come in Mumbai. Okay.
Please put on pleasant articles.
So, don't worry. So I'll answer your question. Okay. Number one, you take a glass building or you take a fully concrete building with some windows in that. Okay, when there is a fire, what's happening in that situation? It can go up to 1000 degrees inside, whether it is a electrical related fire or whatever it may be with the wood and all those things. Now what will happen now? People are stuck inside. What will happen? There is a smoke. You have a fully concrete building which is available. You have pockets of windows. Now you have a glass building. Now anything which we said it's not a fireproof glass building, I understand. So there is no. So these glasses, any of these glasses which are in the facade, above the 200 degrees thing, it'll start breaking. Now where this smoke, I think most of the deaths happen in a fire accident is because of inhaling of the smoke. Number one, it's easy to let out this smoke in a glass building. Number two, for any fire brigade which is coming, he has to just break the glass. He doesn't need to hit the wall with so much of force to evacuate the people. That is the second. He'll be able to see where the fire is through that thing and then able to do that. Now, where are these accidents happening to the fire brigade which is coming? You have heat strengthened panels. When you are breaking, those panes are trying to hit them. I think the recent case, I think Dubai has come out with a fire code recently, I think last month or last month. When they did the studies, most of these fires which are propagating is also because glass is a non-combustible material. Okay, this is propagating through the ACP. So they said that, okay, boss, this is ACP can be a combustible material. But then what they have done is that in the code they said you can have this the rescue floors, 2-3 ways of doing it. One is the rescue thing, then one floor they keep it with this one. And then in whichever way they are doing, they said that for a guy, it's for the fire brigade, not for the people inside to open and come out and all those things. It's not the openable panels. For the fire brigade, they said that if there is a laminated panels, it becomes difficult and all. You need to have a definite marking in the facade itself, and which needs to be explained to the architect also. In the facade, you are going to have this marking, definite marking with the fireproof glass, where the fire brigade, by looking at it itself, he should know that, okay, I have to break in here rather than, which is inside also done with a fire. The people, the fire brigade will be able to go easily and then evacuate the people. So in my view, when you compare a typical concrete building with punch windows or whatever it may be, and a glass building, definitely in a fire situation, a glass building is any day better than the concrete.
So having a building with a proper glass marked will save a lot of life. Good, the panel was a little bit scrambling. I believe the questions were posted faster because that's the time allowed, but I believe we have to draw a good conclusion. So first I touch base back on the fire codes. Finally yes. Before I go, I just like to share this video to you all. I've been showing this video since I started this. Yes, I would like to dedicate this to the loved ones who lost their life due to our negligence. I don't take any, it is a disclaimer which has to be there. I show you one video first. Today I am serious, I want a solution. This is a building in Kazakh. You have a look at this building.
Locals know it as the cigarette lighter because of its shape, Kazakhstan's tallest building. So perhaps it was only a matter of time before it adopted its name and caught fire. The 38-storey building houses the government ministries of industry, information and communications. Everyone inside was evacuated and investigations underway. Billions of dollars of Kazakhstan's oil revenues have been spent on new buildings since the capital was moved to the city of Astana in 1997. Other nicknames for developments include Titanic for apartments beside the river, the Dollar for the Economics Ministry, and there's a tower called the Lollipop. There could be a new one soon, the Ashtray, and he sent Reuters.
This is a building in Thailand.
จากเหตุเพลิงไหม้อาคารคิวสูง 53 ชั้นเป็นถนนรัชดาพิเศษก รายแยกเขียนร่วมมิตรเมื่อกลางดึกที่ผ่านมาทำให้ตำรวจต้องปิดการจราจรทั้งสองฝั่งถนนเนื่องจากอาคารที่เกิดเพลิงไหม้อยู่ระหว่างการก่อสร้างจนเศษวัสดุและพลาสติกที่ห่อหุ้มอาคารเป็นตกลงมาบนพื้นผิวถนนผู้สื่อข่าวรายงานว่าตำรวจได้เปิดการจราจรเป็นปกติแล้วเมื่อเวลา 6 นาฬิกาที่ผ่านมาโดยตำรวจจราจรต้องอำนวยความสะดวกมากยิ่งขึ้นเนื่องจากมีรถผ่านสวนชลาดูจึงต้องส่งสัญญาณให้ใช้ความเร็วเมื่อเราสามารถเคลื่อนตัวได้ส่วนอาคารที่เกิดเหตุในช่วงสายวันนี้เจ้าหน้าที่กองพิสูจน์หลักฐานจะเข้าไปตรวจสอบหาจุดต้นเพลิงและสาเหตุของเพลิงไหม้
This is a building in Korea.
韓国ソウルで昨日ビル火災がありました。
1階から出火した後、わずか5分で屋上まで燃え広がる様子をカメラが捉えていました。
ソウル市内のオフィスビルの2階から出火。火は外壁に沿って瞬く間に燃え広がり、わずか5分で屋上まで炎に包まれました。
그때 처음으로 펑하는 소리가 나는데 우리 이쪽 건물까지 흔들렸어요. 정수기의 문까지 흔들리고.
Sorry, I can't translate. This is a recent one in UAE. The video is shot upside down, so you have to look at it that way. if you hear what they say, how quick. So I stop here. All this, what you see, is not more than 2 minutes. When the fire was lit, it's not more than 2 minutes. The sad part of it is today we are using this material in every building we do here. Most of the building I can say. Maybe some special case buildings, client was well aware, they have been told. But unfortunately, this is what we are building today.
Selvam, one
Yes.
comment I wanted to add before we actually get it closer. We normally talk about the we normally talk about the fireproof buildings and fire resistance. In fact, there is one aspect that we are actually missing on right now. It's about the air blast and the bomb blast. There is an ASTM regulation about F1642, which clearly talks about the air blast and the bomb blast and the impact of the blast, which can actually impact the person who is sitting inside, and how it can actually shatter the glasses and hit the person. This is something which I have already attended 3 or 4 seminars so far.
I think India needs another 9/11.
But that's what this
before
is
we
something
can think
that
about it.
if you actually go to the US regulation, a lot of buildings are now talking about the air blast and bomb blast for the embassy, hospitals and the hotel projects.
Yes.
So this is something that we have actually, we have still not been talking about so far in the last 4 sessions. In fact, and this is something that I wanted, the people to actually think about it possibly, because 8 years, 10 years from hence, we'll be talking the same thing.
Sir, the idea today is to start the basics. I believe we are now touching base on the higher level. Yes, we have to look at it, but today we don't even have the basics done. So today to have what you saw there, it's a combustible material. All the fire incidents happen with ACP. Okay, most of the time you see all these fires, they have been littered through ACP and gone. So today what I have done, I brought in an expert who is sitting there. I want him to advise how it can be changed. Yes, if we could pass the mic to Mr.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Somasundaram here. See, basically, what Selvam was sharing was 100% right, because ACP is basically aluminum composite panel, and the fire behavior or fire retardancy of ACP totally depends on the core which is used to laminate the aluminum sheets, aluminum coils rather. Currently, the majority of the projects which have been cladded in India is with LDPE core, whether it is 100% virgin or recycled, but still it is LDPE, that is polymer, which is combustible. However, the same can be changed or addressed by using a better core, which we call, or rather which has been prescribed or suggested by NFPA 285. It is not by any ACP manufacturer per se, but it specifies that 70% of the core which is used as to laminate this ACP should be non-combustible mineral filled core, and 30% can be polymer. However, the same has been changed to 7129 because the glue which is used to laminate, used for lamination, also is a polymer which accounts to 1%. So 71% of the core should be 100% non-combustible core, which should not be misinterpreted or which should not be used for an advantage of any ACP manufacturer, but this is what NFPA suggests. And if it is used, if the core is used that way, this is what is the test, which is a practical test which happens in case of a fire, a 2-story building, physical structure with ACP, with this sort of a core, and you can see in the second picture, it is practically put on fire. And third one, you can see propagation of the fire here. So can you go to the next? And see how it happens. It is very much similar to the fire videos what Selvam has shown you now. However, if you go to the next slide, since the core which is being used here is 70% non-combustible and 30% polymer, this is what happens to damage to the ACP here. That is, basically, the core should not be propagating the fire. It should retard the fire. That's why FR ACP, it is not fire rated I would suggest like it should be called fire retardant ACP. Basically here core should be retarding the fire, and once the source of fire is extinguished, the fire should stop. It should not get propagated. This is what NFPA 285, and why I am referring to NFPA 285 is this is the one standard which also prescribes the test, how it has to be done, and how the core has to be formulated. No other standard goes to so deep here. Not even ASTM E119. ASTM E119 is for the entire wall system, not for individual component here. Whereas this one is specifically for only ACP. This is a major difference between the other standards and this particular standard.
Good. I believe what Somasundar has explained is the product. So, what I would like to recommend to the panel or to the association. First, we spoke about fire. So, why I have taken only ACP as a material? Because Naren said glass is non-combustible, sealant is non-combustible, aluminum, yes, it is when the heat develops. So, this is the only component which is just starting to go into the system in a big way. I believe if we change this to a fire retardant, we increase the safety, we increase the life of the building. If we all agree, I believe you can pass on the recommendation today to say yes, future buildings we would like to insist upon to have a fire retardant ACP as the first step. Do we agree?
Yes.
Sir, can we? Thank you. Second, I touch base on fire evacuation. We have to take another step forward to explain to the person who has written this code or maybe misled by somebody else. I believe the team have to work together to explain to that single person how fire evacuation can be done through facades properly by designating proper glass as recommended by Naren. So, can we have fire tempered, a tempered glass with then fire evacuation stickers done in the building as a proper?
Yeah, we can do that, but then we need to meet. I think along with the association, I am ready. We need to meet the chief fire officers in different important cities. Major cities, immediately we need to meet because the perception is different. The perception is different. So, we need to explain. They are not, they are willing to meet. They are willing to meet, and I would request IFFA so that we can join.
Yes,
and go and meet
I believe we can go for, yes. Okay.
Actually, we were having the same type of opinion because, Bombay recently fire happened and the fire officer is, saying a lot of things which you must have already observed. So the first thing is that all the glass manufacturers, like the company like you, should take the initiative, and definitely we are there to help you.
They are ready to meet. In fact, last week we met him and he is ready to meet. Yeah. He said that in next 2 weeks you can come along with the installation companies, everybody, yeah, and then tell what is the exact way you wanted it to be. So, we can take the appointment, and he is also ready to meet because the present chief fire officer, I think, will get retired in this month or something like that.
So, before that we should educate them as well.
The deputy will be there.
Correct, huh?
And next 1 year there will be no chief fire officer.
Yes, Suresh.
And if it is tempered, I think it should be a heat soaked. It should be compulsorily heat soaked. That particular glass.
I don't want to go to that section. It's a big section for me to go heat soak. No, yes, first let us do tempering. Let's see how it goes. Yeah. And last but not least, I will go to a good friend for sealant. Can you be able to give us a complete documentation or the best codes just for the basics? Okay. You spoke about hazardous material.
Right.
Tell us what is the right material we have to use for right
application. Definitely. I mean, we have the, possibly I have the comparison and basically we have done a lot of third-party testing as well, internal as well as external testing, and we have actually come up with some paper that we know that what are the right products to be used for the right application, and what are the innovative products that we can actually offer for those applications which can make the system more sustainable in long term, in fact. So
by the by, like whoever is presenting something, don't present your company. Rather, we want a specification.
That's what I'm saying. See,
this going to be
I have the codes and I have the third-party testing. Possibly, see, this third-party testing are majorly product-driven. So, I mean, definitely, whatever I can give you in respect with my company. I mean, so definitely, I'll support you with these activities which are required.
Good. Thanks. At least I believe we have taken 3 topics today, bit by bit. I believe this is the only way we can do. So, the 3 key things we have taken in this section, and more or less I have summed it up, what we have to do. Now we have to put this into action. We will start documenting it and move forward from here. I would like to take Mr. Sandeep Chowdhury, who is there, to conclude this section by giving an assurance from the association that whatever has been communicated here will be documented and practiced by all of you there.
Yeah, definitely. As an association, we'll take this up. And whatever we have discussed today, I think it is very, very important from the curtain walling and the facade industry to ensure that the right materials are put in the building. And we should put a document together and kind of educate the market. Our consultants are over here, the facade consultants are here, and we should all get together and specify the right materials to be used, and also force the facade industry to also educate our owners of the buildings, to basically tell them where they're going wrong. And sometimes all the tender documents that are made, at times they're not specifying the right materials. So I think we should all get together and make sure that the right materials are put into the building to avoid these kind of accidents happening.
Okay, sir. Thanks for the acceptance, and I believe with this I would like to wrap up. I've run past my time. I have to thank the panelists for their short discussion. But to conclude, as we said, yes, at least we have taken 3 topics, and soon I hope to see that we start to implement them and move forward. And sooner or later, you will start to see the association coming in a big way, where they will start to document all this. It's not going to be a forum where we discuss and we just have a coffee and say bye-bye and go. No, this is completely documented. It will be released soon. Hopefully, within the next 1 year or so, India will have its own best standards and practices which will govern the future generation, and I hope we all can work towards it for our future generation. With this, I thank the panelists. Thanks for your participation. Thank you all.
And we would like to facilitate the panelists here.
Yes. Please, just stay 1 minute. Just stay a minute. Whom I have to give? I have to give. I will start from there. Yes. Thanks for participating. Just a small token. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. For me. Oh, thank you. Can you pull the wire?
With this, we would break for tea. It's served in the lobby at the right-hand side. And we'll be back in 15 minutes with the next very interesting session.